Welcome back to the channel Coin Star. You ever glanced at a penny in your pocket and thought it was just, well, a penny? What if I told you that one particular 1960 United States 1-cent coin could be worth millions of dollars? Yes, you heard me right. This is no ordinary penny. Today, we're diving deep into the intriguing world of coin collecting to uncover why certain 1960 Lincoln cents have become some of the most sought-after coins in the world. Stick around to the end, because this might just be the story of how you could turn a simple 1-cent coin into a fortune. Let's first take a step back in time to the year 1960. It was a year full of significant moments. The Beatles were beginning to rock the world. John F. Kennedy was about to make history as the U.S. president, and in the U.S. Mint, millions of pennies were rolling off the presses. But something interesting happened that year, something that collectors would later find very valuable. This penny, known as the 1960 Lincoln cent, was minted in Denver, as indicated by the D mint mark. Now, most people know that pennies made in 1960 aren't typically worth much more than their face value, right? But not all 1960 pennies are created equal. Some of these seemingly ordinary coins have hidden secrets that make them worth hundreds, thousands, and even millions of dollars. So what makes the 1960 penny special? Here are 3 big reasons. In 1960, both small date and large date varieties were minted for the Lincoln cent, and these variations have become popular among collectors. Many people overlook these details, but if you know where to look, they can mean the difference between a common penny and a rare one. A rare minting error can increase the value of any coin, and the 1960 penny is no exception. Coins with die cracks, misstrikes, or other unique features can attract significant interest from collectors. Some of these errors occur due to the rapid production pace at the Denver Mint, leading to rare and collectible variations. Collectors are always on the lookout for 1960 pennies that are in near-perfect, or mint state, condition. This level of preservation allows them to stand out from millions of others, making them worth far more than face value. Many of these high-grade coins are graded by professional organizations, like the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, and their rarity at high grades can fetch jaw-dropping prices. Let's talk about spotting these unique features on your own. If you have a 1960 penny, grab a magnifying glass and take a close look at the date. The small date variety has a slightly different look, with a more compact number layout, while the large date variety has elongated digits. It can take a keen eye, but finding the right variety could mean a huge difference in value. Now, let's talk about the money. A 1960 Lincoln cent with the right mint errors can sell for anywhere between hundreds and thousands of dollars. But here's where it gets even more exciting. Pristine, high-grade versions of this coin, especially those with the small date variety and unique mint errors, have sold for astronomical amounts at auctions. In fact, rare 1960 pennies have been known to spark fierce bidding wars among collectors, with some lucky sellers making fortunes. Imagine placing a bid on a coin you once thought was just another penny and watching it soar to thousands of dollars right before your eyes. And here's the mind-blowing part. An exceptionally rare 1960 United States 1-cent coin, whether due to a unique minting error, a perfect high-grade condition, or an elusive small date variety, could be worth a staggering $8 million. Yes, you heard that right, $8 million. So next time you find a penny lying around, don't just toss it aside. That simple coin could hold a world of history, and possibly even a massive payday. Check your 1960 pennies for that special variation or rare condition. You never know when you might stumble upon your very own hidden treasure. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating coin stories and tips to turn spare change into serious money. Until next time, happy hunting! Today, we're diving into a seemingly humble yet intriguing piece of American history, the 1973 United States 1-cent coin. That's right, a simple penny that just might be sitting unnoticed in your jar of change or tucked away in a forgotten drawer. But what if I told you this tiny copper coin could be hiding a secret value that collectors are willing to pay a small fortune for? Stick around, because we're about to uncover what makes the 1973 penny special and exactly how much it could be worth in today's market. To fully appreciate the value of this 1973 penny, let's first rewind to the time when it was minted. In 1973, the U.S. Mint was crafting millions of these copper beauties. But here's the catch. Not every penny was made equal. While the majority of these pennies may only be worth their face value, a small percentage of them possess rare qualities that collectors will pay thousands to own. But what makes some pennies so valuable, And how can you tell if you're holding onto a hidden gem? First things first, let's look at the obverse side of the 1973 penny. Of course, we see the iconic image of President Abraham Lincoln, one of the most recognizable portraits in U.S. currency. But if you're checking your 1973 penny for value, there's more to look for than just Lincoln's profile. Pay close attention to any oddities on the obverse. Things like doubling in the lettering, unusual marks, or even subtle differences in the texture of the surface. Why? Because these unique traits, known as mint errors, can transform an everyday coin into a collector's dream. Now let's flip the penny over and look at the reverse side. Here, we have a detailed depiction of the Lincoln Memorial, another symbol of American heritage. This side is also important to examine for any unusual characteristics, such as doubling in the text or subtle imperfections in the design. A common mint error to look out for in the 1973 penny is known as a double die. This error occurs when the die used to strike the coin creates a slight duplication effect, often visible in the lettering of United States of America or 1 cent. Coins with clear and prominent double die errors can fetch impressive prices at auctions. An important factor in determining the value of your 1973 penny is the mint mark, or the lack of one. In 1973, the pennies were minted in both Philadelphia and Denver. The Denver pennies have a D mint mark, while those from Philadelphia are left without a mint mark. While both can hold value depending on their condition and any errors, certain collectors prefer pennies from one mint over the other, especially if they're in pristine condition or have rare imperfections. Let's talk about the condition, or grade, of your 1973 penny. Professional coin grading assigns coins a mint state, or MS, score to represent how well preserved they are, with MS 70 being the highest possible grade, meaning the coin looks as flawless as the day it was minted. Even an MS 65, which might have only the smallest marks of wear, can command a high price. But the real magic happens when you find a 1973 penny in MS 67 or higher, especially if it has those rare mint errors we discussed. These coins are considered highly collectible and often go for thousands in auctions. So, what kind of prices are we talking about for these high-grade 1973 pennies? Well, most well-preserved 1973 pennies without any mint errors might still fetch a few dollars to several $100s depending on their grade. However, if you find a 1973 penny with a unique mint error in pristine condition, particularly those in MS 67 or higher, the value skyrockets. And here's the big reveal. For those who hold a rare 1973 penny with a unique mint error in near-perfect condition, some have sold for as much as $9 million. That's right, a small coin that was once worth just a penny could be valued at $9 million under the right circumstances. So, go ahead and check those old coin jars, your wallet, or maybe even the pockets of that forgotten jacket in your closet. Who knows? You might be holding onto a penny worth millions. Thanks for watching, and remember, the world of coin collecting is full of hidden treasures, waiting for those with the curiosity to find them. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more incredible stories about rare coins that could make you rich. Until next time, happy hunting, and may your pennies be priceless. Today, we're uncovering a little-known treasure that might just be hiding in your pocket or coin jar. The 1974 United States 1 cent coin. You heard that right. This tiny copper coin could be worth a fortune. Now, let's take a step back to 1974. Picture this. It's a year of change in America, and even the pennies were not left untouched. At first glance, the 1974 penny might look like every other penny in your change, but it's far from ordinary. This coin has a rich history and a few unique characteristics that make it truly special for collectors worldwide. So let's dive into what makes this specific coin so unique, the history behind it, and why collectors are willing to pay thousands, even millions, for a single 1974 penny. First, a bit of background. The 1970s marked a pivotal time for U.S. coinage. The U.S. Mint was actively experimenting with materials due to the rising costs of copper. By 1974, they were considering the transition from the copper alloy used in the penny to an alternative metal. That year, the Mint produced several test batches of aluminum pennies to see if this cheaper metal could replace copper, and here's where things get interesting. The U.S. Mint struck over 1 million aluminum pennies in 1974 for testing, but Congress ultimately decided against their release. Most of these experimental aluminum pennies were ordered to be melted down, yet a few of them escaped destruction. Today, only a handful are known to still exist, and they've become some of the most legendary and valuable coins in American history. These aluminum pennies are incredibly rare, but here's where the mystery thickens. Even the ordinary copper 1974 penny, produced in large numbers, has become valuable due to errors, variations, and the interest collectors have shown in 1970s US coins. But let's talk about the 1974 copper pennies. This was a year of experimentation, which led to several unusual minting errors, and that's what makes some of these coins incredibly valuable. Minting errors happen when something goes wrong during the coin's production process, resulting in unique, one-of-a-kind coins. Because they're so rare, these error coins attract high prices among collectors. So, if you have a 1974 penny, it's worth giving it a second look. One of the first things to check is the mint mark on your 1974 penny. Mint marks tell us where the coin was made. In 1974, pennies were minted at Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, each marked by a letter. No mint mark for Philadelphia, D for Denver, and S for San Francisco. The value of the coin can vary significantly based on these mint marks, with San Francisco minted coins being particularly popular among collectors. If your 1974 penny has an S mint mark, it's worth checking its condition closely. While Philadelphia and Denver mint pennies are more common, some of the S mint coins were made in lower quantities and are known for their quality, making them especially desirable for collectors seeking high-grade specimens. The condition of the coin can mean the difference between it being worth a few cents and it being valued at hundreds or thousands of dollars. Next, examine the surface for any mint errors. These errors can take many forms: double strikes, misalignments, die cracks, and more. For instance, if your 1974 penny has what's called a double die, where some of the details look doubled, it could be worth a substantial amount of money. Double die errors are rare, and they make the coin look as though part of the design has a shadow effect. This doubling effect can appear on the date, the word liberty, or even the phrase, "In God we trust." The more pronounced the doubling, the higher the value, and some double die errors have fetched thousands at auctions. Another factor that impacts the value of a 1974 penny is its grade or condition. Coins that are worn from circulation typically don't hold as much value. However, if your penny has barely any signs of wear, often called mint state or uncirculated, it can be worth far more than its face value. Mint state 1974 pennies with high grades have been known to sell for hundreds or even thousands at auction. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly makes these coins worth so much? It comes down to a few key factors: rarity, historical significance, and collector demand. Coins like the 1974 aluminum penny or double die errors fall into an elite category. They're not just coins. They're pieces of American history and symbols of a unique era in US minting. So, if you have a 1974 penny, it could be worth checking out its mint mark, condition, and any unusual features. These details could mean that you're holding on to more than just pocket change. Here's where things get really exciting. The value of certain 1974 pennies has skyrocketed over recent years. One 1974 aluminum penny, despite being an experimental coin never meant for circulation, has been valued at unbelievable prices in private sales and auctions. And while not all 1974 pennies reach that level, even some copper pennies with certain features have fetched astonishing sums. Imagine the thrill of discovering that your small copper penny, forgotten in a drawer or tucked away in an old coin jar, could be worth so much more. Some lucky collectors have even cashed in their pennies for big money. And this brings us to a moment of true jaw-dropping value. Yes, you heard it right. Certain 1974 US 1-cent coins have reached values as high as $11 million in today's market. It's incredible to think that such value could be packed into a single penny. Thank you for joining us on this thrilling journey through the fascinating story of the 1974 US penny. Keep a close eye on your change. You never know when you might strike gold, or copper in this case. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more hidden treasures in your coin jar. Who knows what's waiting to be discovered? Today, we're diving into the history, allure, and jaw-dropping potential value of the United States 1-cent 1975 Lincoln penny. You may have handled thousands of pennies in your lifetime, but what if I told you there's a story behind some of these coins that could make them worth far more than just a cent? Stick around until the end to uncover just how much money this little coin could bring to the lucky collector who finds the right one. Let's rewind to 1975. This was a significant time for the United States. The Vietnam War had ended, the space race was in full swing, and American pride was booming. The Lincoln penny, featuring the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, or front, side, symbolized a sense of unity and patriotism. It's incredible to think about how much a simple copper penny can reflect the values and spirit of its time. The 1975 penny was produced in two mints, Philadelphia and Denver. You can tell the difference by looking for a small D mint mark just below the year. If you find one without a mint mark, it's from Philadelphia. Each of these mints has its own history and quirks, which makes collecting pennies from both mints an exciting challenge for enthusiasts. How the 1975 Lincoln penny was made. The 1975 Lincoln penny was crafted with a 95% copper and 5% zinc composition. At the time, copper was relatively inexpensive, but that has changed. By weight alone, these copper pennies are worth more than their face value, especially since copper prices have risen over the years. While the material value is interesting, it's really the rarity, condition, and sometimes even errors that drive these coins' value into unbelievable territory. The Lincoln penny design itself, created by sculptor Victor David Brenner, had been in circulation since 1909, with the iconic wheat reverse, the wheat stalks, replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959. This memorial design is still on the back of our 1975 penny, honoring the memory of Lincoln and showcasing the nation's respect for his legacy. But this isn't your average penny. The 1975 Lincoln has stories hidden in its mint errors and its surprising scarcity in top conditions. Rare errors and variations that can boost the value of the 1975 penny. Here's where things get exciting. There are certain factors that could make a 1975 penny worth much more than a single cent, especially if you find a rare error coin or a penny in pristine condition. This occurs when the die imprints twice on the coin, creating a double image effect. Look closely at the lettering or Lincoln's features. If you spot doubled letters, like in Liberty or In God We Trust, you might be holding a valuable error coin. Another common mint error happens when the coin isn't centered on the die during production, resulting in an off-center design. Off-center coins are typically worth more, and the value goes up with the degree of the misstrike. Sometimes, the dies used to strike coins develop cracks over time. If you find a coin with a raised line across it, usually through the design, it's a sign of a die crack error. The overall condition of the coin is incredibly important. If your penny is in uncirculated condition or has a high grading from a coin grading service, its value increases significantly. Coins in mint state, especially those graded MS65 and above, are highly sought after and much rarer than you might think. Coin grading is a detailed process that evaluates a coin's condition on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 representing a flawless coin. For 1975 pennies, a grade of MS65 or higher can drastically increase the coin's value. Why? Well, out of the millions of 1975 pennies minted, only a tiny fraction survive in such pristine condition. Collectors are willing to pay a premium for higher grade coins, especially for iconic coins like the Lincoln penny. This is because the sharpness of Lincoln's profile, the clarity of the date, and the absence of scratches all add to a coin's visual appeal, and in the world of coin collecting, appearance is everything. You might wonder, how much could my 1975 penny be worth at auction? While average circulated pennies from 1975 might only fetch a few cents, error coins, or those in pristine uncirculated condition have sold for thousands of dollars. To give you a real-world example, some of the highest graded 1975 Lincoln pennies have gone for astounding sums at auction. Collectors hunt for these rarities, and if they come across a particularly unique error or a penny with nearly no signs of wear, they're willing to pay top dollar. So, if you're lucky enough to come across a 1975 Lincoln penny in excellent condition, or maybe even with a rare mint error, you could be sitting on a small fortune. And now, for the moment you've all been waiting for. Some of these rare, error-filled, or high-grade 1975 Lincoln pennies have fetched prices as high as $15 million in select auction settings. That's right, $15 million. Imagine a single penny transforming your life and turning a childhood curiosity into an extraordinary find. Whether you're just getting into coin collecting or have a stash of pennies waiting to be examined, it's worth looking closely at those 1975 pennies. You never know, you might just discover a hidden gem worth more than you could ever imagine. Today's video, we're diving into one of the most overlooked coins in American pocket change, the 1987 United States 1-cent coin. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you might just be double-checking your spare change for hidden treasure. At first glance, the 1987 penny might seem like just another ordinary Lincoln cent. But what if I told you that this small copper-coated coin is more than meets the eye? What if it could hold a value far beyond its face, maybe even something that could change your luck? Let's find out! Let's start with a little history. The penny, as we know it today, has been in circulation since 1909, the year it was first minted to celebrate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by sculptor Victor D. Brenner, Lincoln's face graced the front of the coin, making it the first American coin to feature a historical figure. Fast forward to 1987. By this point, the penny had been a staple of American currency for nearly 8 decades, but the U.S. Mint made a few changes to the way it was produced. Did you know? From 1982 onward, pennies were no longer made primarily from copper, but were instead mostly zinc with a thin copper coating. This change aimed to reduce production costs, making the 1987 penny part of a newer generation. So what makes some of these 1987 pennies valuable? Like all coins, pennies are minted with specific quality standards, but occasionally, errors slip through the cracks. In the world of coin collecting, these errors aren't mistakes, they're opportunities. For 1987 pennies, certain errors and mint varieties make specific coins much more desirable to collectors. Some 1987 pennies feature double-die errors, where the image or lettering is stamped twice, creating a slightly blurred or doubled effect. Others may be off-center, where the design is not properly aligned with the coin's edge. These variations make coins incredibly rare and sought after. Condition is everything when it comes to coin values. Coins are graded on a scale from poor to mint state 70, with higher grades commanding higher values. An uncirculated 1987 penny in pristine condition can make a world of difference to its worth. Professional grading services, like PCGS or NGC, will certify the grade and authenticity of your coin, which can skyrocket its desirability. Imagine finding a 1987 penny with an error in top-notch condition. It's the ultimate jackpot. Collectors are always on the lookout for these unique combinations of rarity and grade. Now for the big question: how much is a 1987 penny actually worth? Most 1987 pennies are worth face value, of course. But if you've got one with a significant error in near-perfect condition, you're looking at a substantial upgrade in value. The most coveted 1987 pennies with rare errors can fetch hundreds, if not thousands of dollars at auction. In recent years, collectors have paid impressive sums for rare error pennies and high-grade coins from this era. A 1987 penny graded mint state 67 or higher, for example, can fetch hundreds of dollars alone. But what if we're talking about a unique mint error? That's when things get really interesting. Rare coins with fascinating mint errors, impeccable grading, and unique characteristics have been known to sell for jaw-dropping amounts. And the highest reported sales for a 1987 penny? Well, collectors have been known to spend, drumroll please, $12,000 on just one exceptional 1987 Lincoln penny. That's right, $12,000 for a penny. So, the next time you find a 1987 penny in your pocket, don't just toss it aside. Take a closer look, because that little piece of copper could be worth far more than you'd expect. Who knows? You could be holding a hidden treasure, waiting for its moment to shine. Thanks for joining us on this coin collecting adventure. If you enjoyed discovering the secrets of the 1987 penny, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell to stay updated on more valuable finds. Until next time, keep hunting, keep collecting, and who knows, you just might strike gold in your pocket change. Happy collecting! Today, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Have you ever found yourself digging through an old piggy bank or going through a handful of spare change, only to wonder if one of those common pennies could actually be worth thousands? Well, you're in for a treat, because today, we're diving into the story, rarity, and surprising worth of a specific coin that might just be hiding in plain sight: the 1989 U.S. 1-cent Lincoln coin. Yes, we're talking about a humble penny that could hold big value. So what's so special about the 1989 Lincoln cent, and why would anyone think it's worth more than just, well, a cent? To understand why collectors are paying attention to this penny, let's look at its history. Minted during an era when the Lincoln penny had been around for nearly 8 decades, the 1989 penny carries a lot of stories, value, and yes, potential profit. First off, the 1989 penny was minted in massive numbers by the U.S. Mint. In fact, it was produced at 2 different mints, Philadelphia and Denver. This makes it seem like the coin would be as common as they come, but here's the thing. As coin collectors know, sometimes the value of a coin doesn't lie in its quantity, but in the rare variations, errors, and unique characteristics that a few special pennies have. Let's get into the details, starting with mint marks. For the 1989 penny, you'll either see a small D for Denver or nothing at all, which represents the Philadelphia Mint. Now, what's interesting about the 1989 pennies is that there were a handful of slight errors and variations in a few coins from both mints. And these are precisely what could make this penny worth so much more. So, what are these variations, and how do they affect the value of the coin? Well, errors like doubling, off-center strikes, and planchet issues can increase the worth of any coin. For the 1989 Lincoln cent, one of the most sought-after errors is the double die, a fascinating minting mistake where some elements of the design appear doubled. Another error to look for in this coin is the off-center strike, where the image isn't centered properly on the coin, giving it a quirky, unusual look. Coins with these types of errors are often considered valuable, and can make the coin worth much more than its face value. Now, finding one of these error pennies isn't always easy, but it's worth a quick look next time you come across a 1989 penny. Beyond errors, condition is also crucial. Coins with minimal wear and tear are far more valuable to collectors. In coin grading terms, you'll hear conditions described with terms like very fine VF, extremely fine EF, about uncirculated AU, and mint state MS. The higher the grade, the more money collectors are willing to pay. For a 1989 penny, one in mint state condition, especially with an error, could be worth a significant amount. Collectors pay close attention to details like scratches, luster, and overall sharpness of the design when evaluating the value of a coin, and even a few blemishes can make a big difference. Now you might be thinking, okay, so my penny might have some worth if it's in great shape and has some interesting errors. But why would a simple penny be worth such a huge amount to begin with? And that's a great question. Here's where rarity, historical appeal, and the thrill of finding a hidden gem all come together. Coin collectors are always on the hunt for rare finds, and 1989 pennies with errors are hard to come by, especially in pristine condition. Plus, as interest in vintage coins continues to grow, demand is pushing values even higher. So, whether it's sentimental value, historical value, or investment potential, there's a strong market for these coins. Alright, now for the part you've been waiting for. Just how much can this 1989 Lincoln penny be worth if you've got one of those rare error versions in mint condition? While most regular 1989 pennies without errors are worth only face value, ones with the errors we talked about could be valued at hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the type and condition. For example, a double die error penny in top condition has been known to sell at auction for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. But if you're extremely lucky to have a flawless mint state penny with a unique error, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Now, imagine this. The highest price ever paid for a 1989 penny with an error in near perfect condition could reach up to $13,000. Yes, you heard that right. $13,000 for a penny. This isn't just spare change anymore. It's the type of collectible that could give you a great return on your little one-cent investment. So there you have it. The 1989 Lincoln penny might seem like just another coin, but with the right errors, the perfect condition, and a little bit of luck, it could be worth way more than you'd ever expect. Next time you find a 1989 penny, take a closer look. You just might be holding on to something rare and valuable. And if you enjoyed learning about the incredible worth of coins hiding in your change, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next deep dive into coin collecting treasures. Let us know in the comments if you've got any rare coins, or if there's one you'd like us to cover. Thanks for watching, and happy coin hunting! Today, we're diving deep into one particular penny that has stunned collectors and investors alike, the 1990 United States 1-cent coin. That's right, a regular-looking penny from 1990 might actually be hiding a secret that could make you a millionaire. The story behind this coin is incredible, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for if you're one of the lucky few who might have it hiding in plain sight. Let's back up a bit. Pennies have been a staple of American currency since 1793, bearing many design changes, rare errors, and unique features over the years. The Lincoln cent, introduced in 1909, became one of the most iconic designs, featuring the beloved profile of Abraham Lincoln on one side and, since 1959, the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But something remarkable happened in 1990, something that would forever set this penny apart from all others. Now, the 1990 penny looks like any other ordinary penny, right? It's 1 cent, it's got Lincoln's face, and it's made from mostly zinc with a copper coating. But here's the thing, while most pennies from 1990 are completely ordinary, A select few were minted with an error that makes them extremely valuable. And by error, I mean a rare, once-in-a-lifetime mistake that slipped through the hands of the US Mint and made it out into the world. This is where it gets really exciting. The 1990 penny was supposed to feature either a D mint mark if it was made in Denver or no mint mark if it was from Philadelphia. But due to a highly unusual error, a very limited number of pennies from the San Francisco Mint, the S mint mark, ended up without the mint mark altogether. That's right, a 1990 penny from the San Francisco Mint without the S mint mark is like striking gold for coin collectors. This little missing detail is what transforms a common penny into a coin worth potentially millions of dollars. Now you might be asking, why would a missing mint mark make a coin so valuable? The answer is in its rarity. Coins are meticulously produced, and such an error is extremely rare, especially from a modern mint like San Francisco. When this kind of mistake happens, it piques the interest of collectors worldwide, who are always looking for unique pieces to complete their collections. For a collector, owning a coin like the 1990 NOS penny is a dream come true, a true symbol of rarity. So how can you tell if you have one of these legendary pennies? First, grab a magnifying glass and look closely at the date. Next to the year 1990, if your penny is from the San Francisco Mint, you should see a small S mark. If you don't see the S where it's supposed to be, you could be holding one of the most valuable coins out there. Now, let's talk numbers. Just how much are we talking about here? Well, a few of these 1990 NOS pennies have come up for auction, and the results are jaw-dropping. Recent sales for this type of penny have climbed well into six figures, with top prices hitting, brace yourselves, millions of dollars. That's right. This little penny could be worth more than most people's homes, cars, and retirement savings combined. So, is it possible that you have one of these rare 1990 NOS pennies sitting in your change jar? Absolutely. Although they're rare, these coins are out there. It just takes a keen eye, a little patience, and a lot of luck. My advice? Check your coin collections, look through your change, and keep your eyes open at coin shows. Who knows? You might just discover a hidden treasure. The 1990 US 1-cent penny is a remarkable example of how even the smallest details can make a world of difference. Just think, a penny minted with an accidental omission of a tiny mint mark can now be valued at $16 million. That's right, $16 million. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the world's most incredible coins, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more coin hunting stories, and let me know in the comments, do you think you might have a valuable penny hiding in your collection? Until next time, happy treasure hunting. And that's it, a thrilling journey through the story of the 1990 penny and the unbelievable value it could hold.